Well, hello, everybody. This is Valerie Kane, your host, with another series of how to live and thrive in the rich flow of life. Well, this is another series, and today it really gives me a great pleasure, and it is truly my honor to introduce our featured guest. His name is James Kilgarriff. James is a very, very fine and special man. He is a top-performing professional coach with T. Harv Eker International, and James' works are in direct alignment with his true soul's calling, and he is most definitely fulfilling his life purpose by living out his destiny with a ray of light, and that he uses his gift to uplift, support, and inspire others to achieve their visions, goals, and dreams, so that you too may live and thrive in the rich flow of life. And I know this to be a fact because he is my very own partnering coach that I work with. Isn't that right, James?
That's right, Val. Thank you very much for boosting my ego.
You're welcome. Welcome to the call, James.
Thank you.
So just lead right in and just tell us some stuff all about James. Who are you? Give us the inside scoop.
Okay, well, I'll keep it brief and direct. I'm based in the UK, as you can tell from my accent. So I live near London. I have lived in other countries like Australia, Spain, and so on. But I've been involved with coaching now for probably over 12 years. I worked in the corporate world. I was involved with sales, marketing. I think when I was in one of the big corporates, a big German telecommunications company, I got coached there. And it's from there that I realized this is what I would love to do. Rather than being coached, I'd love to coach other people. And I think the other thing about coaching is that I've done a lot of personal development, spiritual development. I've had my ups and downs in life, my emotional challenges. I've lost everything and gained everything back. So I think coaching for me has been, it's a bit of a calling, as you mentioned at the beginning. It is a calling for me. Because I guess when you go through some life challenges, as we all do, as you've done and I've done and so on, it kind of prepares you to be able to share your wisdom with others. So I've come from a background of technology, sales, marketing. I've run my own business, my own real estate business. And in fact, my clients, when I was selling real estate in Spain, they got more from my coaching than they did from me selling them houses. So
amazing.
So that's kind of a bit. And yes, I'm working with T. Harv Eker. I've been involved in his programs now for about 5-6 years. And I do like one-to-one coaching. I also do group coaching within the Life Makeover coaching program that T. Harv Eker sells to the general public. That's me, really.
Oh, okay. Really? James, that's wonderful. Then I just want to have a question for you, because sometimes you have all people from different walks of life, and there may be folks out there who are not familiar with what the term coaching really is. So can you actually explain exactly what coaching is and also what it is not?
Yeah, it's a good question, because sometimes we make an assumption when you're in personal development or in coaching that people know what it is. But a lot of people don't really know. They think really coaching is something that comes from the sports world. And I think 40 years ago, there was a sort of a mix between psychology and sports. Okay. And now this coaching has obviously moved into, one-to-one coaching like I do with you, the corporate field, executive coaching where I found it. So coaching really is, if you like, it's like, where are you now and where do you want to go? How do you want to go there? It's a forward-thinking approach.
Okay.
And coaching assumes, well, when I'm coaching you, for example, or a client, I always have it in my head that you already know the answers to your dilemmas, your challenges. So coaching is about eliciting the power that you have, and we'll talk about the difference between that and therapy later, but it's the power that you have, and you've already got the answers, but the coach, through asking the right questions and helping the person, if you like, see their blind spots, it actually gives a person to realize what their potential is. It also gives the person or the client the opportunity to really think about their life, because we have such busy lives, we don't have time to stop and think and build different strategies into our lives. So a coach is really a kind of an outlet for you to step back, to really think about your life as to where you're going, and then say, okay, this is where I want to go and this is how I want to get there. and the coach keeps you on the path, because we all want to sort of go off and get distracted. So the coach will keep you there. The coach is good. He'll keep you there, keep you firm, and make sure that you actually get your result. The whole idea is to get results. In some way or another. I don't know if that helps. That answers the question.
Yeah, that helps. And what I like about it the most, James, I'll tell you, one of the biggest things is that what it does is it truly allows you to get out of your own head. Because when you interact with somebody else, you can see yourself from a different perspective, because how we see ourselves and how someone else can see you, that's a whole other level.
Absolutely.
And it's a whole other level. So I like the fact that you can get out of your head and get that different perspective on your life, like you said, and that the whole thing is sort of so you can move forward and keep going and looking up. So that's what I like about it. So the next question I have for you is you said you're going to tell us how coaching is different from therapy. So how is it different from therapy? Because a person can just get on the phone and just go all about their problems. So how do you handle that?
Yeah, well, I've done therapy, and I know that from my experience in therapy, it was always looking back. So when I was young, and it was always focusing on my complexes or my problems from the past, and how I grew up and how my parents were and so on. But coaching is sort of, where are you now, today? Where do you want to go? And say it's very much forward thinking. It's a much more proactive way of moving forward in your life, whereas therapy is more reactive, where you're dealing with, shall we say, a lot of emotions. So it's a reactive form. Now, therapy is good. It has its place. But sometimes, I know people who've been 10 years, 15 years in therapy, but they're still not moving forward in their lives. They're like stuck in their story. And coaching is something about where you're kind of like breaking your story and creating a new aspect of yourself. So it's very much a proactive way of moving forward in your life. Both are good, depending on on the situation that you are in at the time. But also with coaching, when I've worked with people who set goals and objectives, what happens is that resistance comes up, emotional stuff comes up. So there's a bit of therapy in that, but it's only just to sort of remove the roadblocks so that the client can move forward quicker and faster. So it's a slightly different approach to therapy.
I see. And then I had another question for you, for folks out there that's like thinking about this as a career opportunity, and they're thinking, what kind of person do I need to be to have a coaching career? What credentials? Do you have any advice that you can offer on that? Who could become a coach?
Anyone's got the ability to have empathy, the ability to listen, the passion to want to see people break through and break out of their old stories, their old patterns. I think somebody who's got that general desire to do that is a very good candidate to be a good coach. And it also takes a few years, because I do believe that coaches can you can go on a course and become a coach. But you also have to have your own particular life skills, as to maybe you've had problems with your weight or problems with in relationships. No, you can bring all that good stuff into your coaching practice. So I think advice is really, bottom line is, you really want to do it. It's not just doing a course and then suddenly you're a coach. I think that takes time to develop yourself as a person. You've got to be committed to personal development, and so it's a whole bunch of things really, but it's a desire to listen, ask questions, have empathy, have compassion, and not to judge clients. The whole idea is to sort of inspire people. And if you're that kind of person, then you're on the right track to be a great coach.
And you're definitely an inspiration. I love you.
Thank you.
And you're truly an inspiration. That is definitely your gift, and it's your passion also. And then, can you make a good living as a coach or life coach or business coach? How's the money in this industry?
Yeah, you can make a good living. There's a lot of coaches out there who are great, shall we say, they come from the therapy background or psychology background, but they're not making a great living. I think to make a great living as a coach, you've got to have the mindset of putting yourself out there to market yourself, to sell yourself. You probably found the coaching through T. Harv Eker, who's a great marketer and sales guy. So a lot of coaches out there are good coaches, but they don't want to put themselves out there and kind of, unfortunately, we have to sell ourselves and sell what we're doing and sell the benefits of coaching. So you can make a lot of money. It's like the 80-20 rule. 20% of the people in coaching probably make about 80% of of the money, shall we say. So like any industry, there's always this 80-20 rule, you know. So coaching, you can make a lot of money. There are coaches there, you know, making millions of dollars a year. Tony Robbins is a coach. He claims he's a coach.
Yes.
He makes millions doing it. But now there is, if you want to be in the top sort of 20%, then you've got to make a decision to do it. And then you've got to learn about how marketing works, how selling works, and asking for help, and also finding a coach to help you become a great coach. So finding someone who's a few years down the line who's making good money in the coaching industry. So yes, you can make a lot of money. There's a big demand for people who want to transform and change in every aspect of life. You know, people want to lose weight, get better relationships, you know, make more money. Or there's a lot of people out there looking for answers. So coaching, if you do it right, you can make a lot of money. And, you know, as long as you enjoy doing it, you want to help people.
Wow, that's awesome. So the potential is there. It's a great opportunity to make money. And then what would be some of the challenges, I wonder, that you could encounter? Like you said, if you don't market yourself, naturally that's going to be one of the things. But what other challenges would a person experience? I
think the other thing is that this is my own personal view. I mean, if you coach people, any person, and there are people who do general coaching, you can sort of disperse yourself and you don't become like a go-to person in a particular field. So perhaps, you know, if you're going to be a coach and you're going to set up your own coaching business, make sure that you're focusing on an area that makes you, where you feel passionate. If it's losing weight, so let's say you've been an overweight person, you have a great story where you've lost weight, and then now you can teach this and coach this to people who want to lose weight. So I would say that there is, you know, the challenge is to, rather than disperse yourself across too many different areas, is to try and, if you can, focus on one niche area as a coach.
Very good.
The other challenge, obviously, is the marketing. Is how do I get myself out there? How do I market myself? And it's very important to. The other challenge is to get people to know and like you and trust you. But there's a lot about marketing, maybe putting out maybe writing your own kind of book or free report, and sort of bring people in. So that's the main things I see, because, as I say, a lot of people do these coaching programs. They come out and they think, okay, what's next? And they just don't have that sales and marketing ability, and I think that's a key part of it.
Well, that's great advice to give a person, to the listeners, that you really should go in the areas that you're passionate about, something that you've conquered, a challenge that you overcome, and now you've done it. You can teach and show others how to do the same thing, and at least let them know that it's possible for them because it happened for you. So I guess the last thing I want to know, James, and this is my final question for you about coaching, and I'm just so curious to know, what do you enjoy the most about your profession? What do you really dig about it?
What do I enjoy most about a coaching session?
Or just, what you enjoy personally. What do you get out of it? What's your joy out of it? I know you help others, but what does it give you?
Well, in a way, I learn from my clients, because sometimes what's going on with the clients goes on in me. Okay. That's the first thing. But it's the breakthroughs. When I see someone, like today, this morning I had somebody had a breakthrough, a lady who was being coached on her business. She has a big business. But it turned around to be, she wants to really start a new relationship. She's had a major breakthrough, and that just brings me a lot of joy and inspiration. When had it not been for the coaching, she would be stuck in a relationship that could have gone on for another 3-4 years. But she moved through it very, very quickly. And I love it's the breakthroughs. I'm sure you're the same when you're motivating people. Yeah, it's great to see people having breakthroughs, because when they break through, I'm kind of breaking through on some level. Right. Because we all a mirror for one another. So you got it. This is true. Yeah, we're a mirror for one another. So James, I really appreciate you. Thank you, Val. for taking the time to express everything you have shared. With the content is invaluable. You can't put a price tag on it when people open up their hearts and spill out everything they got inside. So is there any lasting words or parting things you want to say out to somebody who just want to pull it all together, kind of the way you want to wrap it up? Or even say, if you want them to call you for your service, how do you want to wrap it up, Dave? Well, yeah, I mean, you can catch me on Facebook, James Kilgarriff, 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 and just friend me and just say, I've heard this call and I'd love to connect with people. I think that's the easiest way. I mean, there's the Life Makeover Coaching Program with Harbecker, which I'm, fully engaged in right now. But if you just want to friend me on Facebook, you can do that. For those of you who don't have the money or can't afford or don't want to go on a coaching thing, I would suggest there's a great book called Coactive Coaching. And it's like the go-to manual for coaches, and it teaches you really how to have how to develop coaching sessions, how to manage them, how to develop what I would call the context, how to drive clients through that. So, Coactive Coaching is a very good book. If you want to find out more on the internet, then there's the Association for Coaching. It's in the UK, Association for Coaching, if not the International Coaching Federations in the United States, the ICF, International Coaching Federation. They're just basically independent associations. They're not selling you anything, but they'll give you much more information on what coaching is and how you can get going. Okay?
And it's just for interested parties, that's all. If that's your interest,
for those who are interested,
follow up with it.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that's great. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much, James, and we have concluded this call, so I would talk to you in the very near future. I love this guy. Goodbye, James.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.